Congratulations. Time to call mom and dad. Tell them that the second mortgage they took out for your degree was worth it because you now have a job. But a job is not a career. Job is just a foot in the door. If you want a career, you want to be standing where I'm standing 15 years from now, then you had better listen very fucking carefully to the next 176 words out of my mouth because this is your new reality. When you walk through that door, your ass is mine. There will be no cell phones. There will be no smoke breaks. There will be no conversation in putting you to the job. There will be no motherfucking shits taken unless authorized by me personally. And if you happen to be lucky enough to get that authorization, you will have exactly 4 minutes and 30 seconds to expel your fecal material, wipe your ass, and wash your filthy hands and get back to work. And if I happen to come across a shit smear in the toilet bowl of that employee restroom, I will personally go to each and every one of your homes and shit in places that will leave you confused for the rest of your lives. Excellence. I expect it, I demand it, and I deliver it. And there's really only one thing you need to know. This ain't Toys R Us, motherfuckers.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Yo Joe Jerk Toy Review. I'm your host, Leonard Nimoy, and today we'll be looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Tunnel Rat. Alright, let's take a look at this package. Over here we got Tunnel Rat in a subway tunnel of some sort. Over here we get the bell from the G.I. Joe the movie for some reason. Over here a great render of the character. Up here a look at his accessories. On this side of the box you get your QR code. Unbelievably hard to read battle stats. On this side of the package we get that beautiful artwork extended, number 83. On the top of the package we get our G.I. Joe Classified logo. On the back of the package, we get a nice little digital render of Tunnel Rat and all his included accessories. Over here, we get a picture of his man purse. Down here, the Tunnel Rat logo. I think that's pretty cool. Over here, battle stats that you can read. Over here, just more legal shit. On the bottom of the package, more legal mush. And your barcode. All right, let me open this sucker up. Cut. Can you smell what the pop is cooking? Pop! Pull-out game activated! Alright, a quick look at what we got. We'll take a look at Tunnel Rat real quick. Ooh, Tunnel Rat real quick. Alright, we got our usual box. Tunnel Rat, number 83. G.I. Joe logo. Alright, let's pop this bitch. Oh, that wasn't a good pop at all. We got one bag of fun and launch. All right, we got our bag of fun and it looks sealed. I'm gonna try and catch it this time, but let's loosen everything up in there because it was all bunched up. Give it one spinaroonie and a rip. All right, we ripped it. Now, I am gently, oh, come on. All right, there's a bunch of stuff there. All right, let's take a look at this figure. Right away, the head sculpt is just great on him. This just looks like he's right out of the cartoon and comic book. There's really nothing to complain about. The paint looks really nice. He doesn't have goofy eye. And just overall, a great sculpt. Like, you couldn't get better for the head sculpt. Down here at the bottom leg, this looks like all new sculpting. He's got a new articulation point down here, so he does go back and forth and side to side. Up here, he's wearing construction worker knee pads, sculpted really well. Up here on the thigh, nice sculpted detail on the pouches as usual. The belts and the buckles just look great. Over here on the left leg, we got the same deal, more pouches. We got storage for the knife and more sculpted detail on the bands here. Just as a heads up, these things are very wonky and they float around real hard. They're not very tight. Well, the left one is pretty tight, but the right one is just very floaty, so be aware when you get it. Up here, we got a nice thigh cut that works really well, and we also get drop-down hips. Up here on the waist, we just get more of that textured detail throughout on the belt and on the pants. Nice painted belt buckle, and we go all the way around, and it's just more of that nice sculpted detail. Like, it really brings everything out. Up here on the waist, we get the standard diaphragm cut, and he's also got a lot of range as far as being on a little bit of a ball joint. Now, up here on the chest, all this stuff is loose, so just be aware that it's very hard to set and then let it stay without shaking him around. Like, this does fall down quite often, but if you just manage to put it on his shoulder right there next to the holster itself, the whole thing should sit pretty well. Also, the neck neckerchief moves. All three of these things are just loose. But like I said, if you set it, you're not going to have much of a problem. Up here on the chest, we got a butterfly joint. It doesn't have a ton of range, but at least his arms can move back and forth a little bit. Up here, he's got a shoulder cut, moves no problem, and actually it's really strong, so no QC. The arm moves great. Over here on the forearm, we got more paint. Looks really good. All the way around into the back, it wraps around. I don't know if that's supposed to be a tattoo or camouflage. Over here at the wrist, he's got a little brown paint, and on his gloves, he's got brown paint on his knuckles. Over here on the left arm, we get the tunnel rat and the tunnel rat logo, which I think is amazing. It's just a rat with a flashlight. Very cool. Down at the forearm, same deal. This is either a tattoo or camouflage. At the wrist here, we get a little watch that's painted green with some brown around the wrist. Same thing on the knuckles. Up here on the gun holster, we got a little canister grenade and the Joe Pro that got paint mist pretty good on mine. But all in all, my impression of this figure is awesome. And I'm just going to show you real quick. We got our friend here, Lieutenant Matt Damon. And if you look, Tunnel Rat is actually tiny the way he's supposed to be. Thank you, Lieutenant Matt Damon.
Matt Damon!
Alright, now we're going to take a look at some of his accessories. First up, we're going to take a look at his night vision goggles, and they're sculpted really well. The headband has all kinds of details on the straps and buckles. You can just see it in the light, all that texture. And here it is from the side, and underneath, you can see it from the back where it meets up with his eyes. Unfortunately, this is all gooey plastic. This does not flip up and down. So I'll show you later on his head, but these do not go up and down. This is just gooey plastic. He's got this revolver, and it's just a standard revolver. It's sculpted really well. You could just see the detail there. The grip is just painted brown. Here it is from this side. Same exact deal. He also comes with a knife, and it looks like your standard G.I. Joe knife. Looks really good. Has a silver paint, black handle. I'll flip it over for you. Nothing we haven't seen before, but always a great inclusion. Alright, we're gonna take a look at his little flashlights. And they're itty bitty, but they look really good. They look like little tiny flashlights down to the texture detail and everything else, down to the on and off button there. You can see it. And the paint inside is a metallic reflective paint, which is really cool. You could see it catching the light here. And that's what they look like down at the bottom. Unfortunately, I got one with QC issues. This one back here, you can see that this one back here actually is just not molded the same way. That is really shitty that I got a little fucked up flashlight. Next up, we're gonna take a look at this giant machine gun. I think it's an LMG, but I am not a gun guy. This looks exactly like the gun from the vintage line. The bipod folds down no problem. This one actually is sturdier than rock and rolls. We get the nice paint. Does have a port for blast effects. They fit in there no problem, and they're nice and snug. All right, next up, we got his little man purse. But no, in all honesty, this thing looks great. Straps look good, and it's somewhat molded to his body. We forgot the magazine for the LMG. It's like any other Joe weapon that has a clip. You're gonna have to just port that in to the bottom of the gun. So you just take this, and you just marry it into there. Fits in there no problem. And there you go, machine gun. Next up is the backpack, and this is also very reminiscent of his original pack. All the texture you could ask for, nice sculpted detail, baggy, and even on the back we got some nice textured detail. Up here at the top you have two places for the flashlight, but I'll show you that in a second. Alright, let's try some accessories out on him. First up, we're gonna put the night vision goggles on his head. They just drop on like that. They look really good. They fit on his head right. I probably am not going to be using these because I want to actually see his face. Next up, we have his pistol, and I'm sorry to inform you, his hands are so little down there, you're probably not going to get the pistol in there very comfortably. Pistol also ports into the chest, and that's where it's going to stay because I'm pretty sure this is just for show because it don't fit in these tiny little hands. All right, next up, we're going to throw the bag on him. Just loop that around, fits on there good, and and this guy has just got mad shit all over him. He's just dripping in accessories. But the bag looks really good. We can see it from the back. Here he is with the knife. That fits in his hand, no problem. If we look at it from the bottom, you can see that it fit in there. The knife also fits in there, no problem. And here he is with the flashlight. That fit in his hand, no problem. Looks really good. I'm probably gonna have him with the defective one in his hand because there's no way it's gonna fit in the backpack, and I'll show you that in a second. And the backpack. And up top, we can port these little guys in there, but because mine's defective, it's just gonna float. But here's the correct one, and it ports in and stays in there very well. Put the flashlight up on the shoulder, but like I said, I can't do the dual because this one is defective. And now you can really see how defective this one is. It doesn't have the bottom piece to lock it into the backpack. But speaking of the backpack, let's get the backpack on him. So you could tell he has a jungle of stuff on his back, and let's just port that in, and it seems like everything fit with the backpack, which is crazy because he has too many straps and bags and bullets. Everything fits on him pretty damn well. And here he is with the heavy machine gun. It was a fight to get that to fit in the hand, but I pried it and it fit in there. So this is looking good. Tunnel Rat is looking pretty damn complete. Let's just pop that on the back of his head. And here he is complete with everything on him. I'm pretty damn happy with him. He looks really good. And for size comparison, we have him with Storm Shadow and Torpedo. Here we have him with Snow Job and the Arctic Bat. Here we have Big Ben and the Range Viper. Here we have him with Flint and Dr. Meatball Vendor. So at the end of the day, and my final thoughts are, I love Tunnel Rat, and I think they did an amazing job on him. I think all the floating accessories is a bit much, but once you set them down right, they look great. I love that they got his height accurate. He's Tunnel Rat from the cartoon and the comics through and through. He is perfect. They did a great job. And that's what I think. And that's all I got this week, people. I'd like to thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the next review. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.